The cause of death was initially listed as drowning due to immersion in freshwater. However, upon further analysis, the medical examiner disagreed with this preliminary assessment after identifying a submerged object at the scene that had previously gone unnoticed. The subsequent investigation revealed a complex scenario involving multiple contributing factors. Initially, the examination focused on the presence of pulmonary edema and water in the deceased's lungs, indicative of drowning. Yet, an exhaustive review of underwater footage and sonar data from the water body led to the detection of a submerged object that had been entangled with the deceased's clothing upon retrieval. This object played a pivotal role in altering the dynamics of the incident, prompting a reevaluation of the circumstances surrounding the death. Chapter: Case Background. The incident under investigation occurred on the evening of July 15th in a rural lake located approximately 30 miles north of the city limits. The initial report was made by a local resident who had been using the lake for recreational purposes. Upon returning home, this individual noticed an unusual disturbance on the surface of the water near the northern shore. Reports indicated that there were visible ripples and discoloration in a localized area, leading to the suspicion of possible aquatic activity involving human presence. Local law enforcement was immediately notified due to concerns over potential illegal activities or unexplained occurrences. Upon arrival at approximately 8:00 p.m., officers observed the same anomaly noted by the initial reporter. A preliminary assumption was made that an object had been recently submerged and might pose a threat to swimmers or boaters in the area. This observation prompted further investigation by specialized units, including underwater search and rescue teams. Initial assessments were inconclusive regarding the nature of the disturbance, leading authorities to broaden their scope of inquiry to include potential criminal activity or environmental hazards. Chapter: Initial Findings upon arrival at the designated water body. First responders noted a state of calm conditions with no recent signs of turbulence or significant wave activity. The initial medical assessment was conducted by paramedics who observed the deceased floating in a supine position near the shore, partially submerged approximately 1 meter below the surface. No immediate visible injuries were present on the exterior of the body. However, the absence of defensive wounds suggested a lack of struggle prior to submersion. The scene investigation revealed no external signs of trauma or foul play. The deceased's position and the absence of injury led investigators to classify the initial manner of death as undetermined pending further examination. A submerged object was identified near the body, prompting divers to retrieve it for analysis alongside additional forensic evidence collection from both the water and shore areas. Further investigation into potential contributing factors was initiated, including toxicology screens and a detailed environmental assessment of the water conditions at the time of discovery. Chapter: Forensic Investigation. At the scene, divers identified a submerged object near the surface of the water body, corresponding to the time and location of the reported incident. Upon retrieval, the object was found to be a personal flotation device, PFD, bearing markings consistent with those owned by the deceased. Additionally, traces of human hair and skin cells were collected from the PFD's interior, lining through swab samples. Water samples and sediment from the immediate vicinity were also obtained for toxicological analysis. Notably absent was any sign of struggle or external trauma on the retrieved PFD, suggesting a lack of direct confrontation with another party prior to submersion. The chain of custody documentation meticulously records all collected evidence, ensuring its integrity throughout transport to the forensic laboratory. Upon examination of the water body, where the deceased was found submerged, specific tests were conducted to identify potential toxins and contaminants that may have contributed to or resulted from drowning. Water samples were analyzed using liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometry, LCMS/MS, for a comprehensive panel including pesticides, heavy metals, and organic compounds. Detection thresholds ranged from 0.1 to 5 parts per billion, ppb. Histological examination of lung tissue revealed acute pulmonary edema indicative of drowning, alongside the presence of diatoms in bronchial alveolar lavage fluid consistent with submersion. Microscopic analysis confirmed the presence of foreign objects within the respiratory tract, specifically a small metallic fragment measuring approximately 2 millimeters in length. These findings were corroborated by X-ray and CT scan results, which identified additional submerged objects at the site, including a corroded metal key and a plastic bottle cap. The investigation began with the recovery of a submerged object from the water body, which was later identified as belonging to the deceased. Radiocarbon dating and analysis of biofilm accumulation on the item provided an estimated submersion period of approximately 3 days. Water samples collected from the vicinity revealed elevated levels of certain dissolved organic compounds, indicative of decomposition fluids from a human source, corroborating the approximate time frame. Underwater videography confirmed no other significant disturbances or objects in the immediate area that could have altered the location or condition of the submerged item post-submersion. This evidence established the sequence leading to the determination of the postmortem interval with high confidence levels. The timeline reconstructed supported the hypothesis that the deceased entered the water body alive, as there were no signs of antemortem trauma suggestive of a pre-existing fatal injury prior to drowning. Notably, this contradicted initial speculation, suggesting foul play or accident at another location before entering the water. Analysis of the water body, where the deceased was found, revealed significant forensic findings pertinent to establishing the cause and manner of death. Submerged objects identified within the vicinity provided critical contextual information regarding potential mechanisms of submersion. The presence of these items, corroborated through underwater imaging technology and subsequent retrieval for examination, indicated environmental factors that could have influenced the movement or positioning of the deceased. Comparative analysis with known water body conditions and current patterns supported an interpretive understanding of the circumstances leading to death. Expert testimony would confirm the relevance of this evidence in reconstructing events, but acknowledge limitations in conclusively attributing causation without direct observation. The expert would testify confidently on environmental elements while noting uncertainties regarding immediate actions preceding submersion. Chapter: Resolution upon thorough examination of the water body and subsequent retrieval of a submerged object. Our investigation concluded that the presence of said item directly influenced the circumstances leading to the deceased's fatal drowning incident. The expert would testify confidently on environmental elements while noting uncertainties regarding immediate actions preceding submersion. The initial assessment suggested natural causes due to environmental factors such as currents and depth. However, the identification of a weighted anchor entangled in aquatic vegetation provided critical evidence of an external cause contributing to the submersion. The expert would testify confidently on environmental elements while noting uncertainties regarding immediate actions preceding submersion. Analysis of the object confirmed its recent use through microscopic examination, revealing traces of human tissue and hair consistent with those of the deceased. This finding shifted our hypothesis from accidental drowning to one involving mechanical intervention, indicating that the anchor had been used deliberately to impede movement and contribute to the fatal outcome. The establishment of this central finding was corroborated by witness testimony, placing individuals near the water's edge around the time of the incident, coinciding with patterns observed in environmental data. This convergence of physical evidence and testimonial accounts solidified our conclusion that mechanical obstruction played a significant role in the drowning event. This case underscores the critical importance of thorough aquatic environment examination in drowning investigations, highlighting how submerged objects can provide crucial evidence regarding mechanism and manner of death. Detailed analysis of water bodies is essential for accurate forensic conclusions. The file remains open,